Hello, dear students. Welcome to KLS Gupte College of Commerce, Belagavi. Myself, Professor S.B. Vendigiri, Department of Economics, taking online classes for post-semester students. My dear students, in the last class, we have discussed about the introductory part of International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. In that, we have understood when IBRD established and how many member nations were there in the beginning and how many member nations at present and what was the initial capital investment and who is the present president of IBRD. These all things we have understood in the last class. Now in today's seventh video of the same topic, same unit, fifth unit. This is my seventh video lecture. In this, let us continue with the same topic IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the further part of the IBRD we shall discuss in today's online class. Okay. After introduction of the IBRD, let us have a look on the objectives of IBRD. Okay. What are the objectives of International Bank for Reconstruction and Development? It is nothing but World Bank. Okay. The ultimate objective of the IBRD is to provide long-run capital to member nations for economic reconstruction and development. See, it is a long-term and long-run and what we call it as a comprehensive objective. Looking at the broader perspective, IBRD is providing long-run capital to the member nation only for member nations to make reconstruction of their economic activities. Reconstruction means it is a kind of implementation of existing units, for example, how to implement, how to, for example, bringing drastic changes in the existing units, reconstructing the economic development of the country with the help of getting the financial assistance by the IBRD. Okay. Second objective is to induce long-run capital investment for assuring balance of payments equilibrium and the balanced development of international trade. IBRD is looking at the broader perspective, as I said. It provides long-run investment assurance to the member nations to bring balance of payments position of that particular country. If a member country is having a problem of deficit balance of payments, to make it balance, it can take the financial assurance, financial help from the IBRD. IBRD is stretching hands or supporting its hands to the member nation when a particular country is having a deficit balance of payments crisis. To bring balance in that, IBRD is providing assurance and financial assistance for that member country. Okay, and as well as development of international trade to increase the international interrelations with other countries outside IBRD. If any member country is to have international interrelations with outside country, for example, that kind of assurance and financial assistance will be provided by the IBRD to that member nation. Okay, and next one is to provide guarantee for loans granted to small and large units and other projects of member nations. Look at that. If any member country has got loan from any other financial institutions, IBRD is acting as a guarantor for such kind of loans only for small and for example large units and other big projects of the member nations. Okay, if any member nation has got the financial help from any other institutions, IBRD is acting as a guardian for that and it is acting as a guarantor for that such kind of loans. Okay, so the ultimate objective of this particular assistance is to make that country efficient, to making the member country more efficient than others. Okay. Next one, to ensure the implementation of development projects so as to bring the smooth transference from a wartime to peace economy. Okay, look at this. It also ensure the implementation of development projects, long-term development projects. If these long-term development projects are taken up by the member nations, for this kind of projects also, IBRD is always providing assistance as well as financial help to the member nations. For it is for what? For the smooth transference from a wartime to peace economy. Okay. So what happens if in a wartime, if any country is having a economic depression, economic crisis, to bring balance in that country, for example, IBRD supports its hands to the member nations to bring peace in the entire economy. Okay, this is another objective of IBRD. Look at the next one, to provide guarantee on private loans or investment. If any private entrepreneurs of the member nation borrowed any kind of loans from banks and institutions, even for that kind of loans also IBRD is acting as a guarantor. So giving guarantee is also a kind of support, a kind of encouragement for the entrepreneurs to increase their efficiency, both physical and mental efficiency. If both physically and mentally, if the entrepreneurs are efficient, there is a possibility of increasing the entire total output of the nation as well as the economic growth of the country is supposed to be. If private capital is not available, look at that another objective. If private capital is not available, even after providing guarantee, then IBRD provides loans for productive activities on certain conditions. Look at that. Sometimes, if private capital is not available for some entrepreneurs, even after giving guarantee for those loans, IBRD coming forward to advance loans for that kind of private activities only on certain conditions, but they need to follow certain instructions, they need to follow certain conditions of the IBRD. Okay, so these all are the basic main objectives of IBRD. Now look at the functions. Okay, functions of IBRD. IBRD is nothing but World Bank. I said World Bank provides technical services to the member nations, and the bank has established Economic Development Institute and Staff College. Look at it. IBRD functioning as providing technical services, technical assistance to the workers of the nation, entrepreneurs of the nation, and for this, bank has established the Economic Development Institute, a kind of college to provide training to the entrepreneurs. Okay, and staff college. Hope you understood. Economic Development Institute and Staff College, nothing but it is a college, it's a institution to provide technical knowledge, to provide technical services to the entrepreneurs of the member nation. It is the main function of the IBRD. And bank can grant loans to a member nations up to 20% of its share. World Bank is providing loan facilities, credit facilities to the member nations up to 20% of their total share. Okay, suppose if a member nation kept 1 crore rupees as a share amount in IBRD, that member country is able to get 20 lakh rupees loans from IBRD for its development. Okay, hope you understand. 20% of 1 crore is 20 lakh rupees. So 20 lakh rupees can be given as loans to the member nations. It means 20% of their total share amount, which is kept as the initial share amount for the IBRD. Okay, the guarantee, the quantities of loans, interest rates, terms and conditions determined by the bank itself. Look at that. The quantities of loan. The quantity of loan means what amount of loan is to be given, what amount of loan is to be sanctioned for a member nation, and what will be the rate of interest for that, and what all terms and conditions will be there. So terms and conditions, rate of interest, the amount of loans always determined by the World Bank itself. Okay, hope you understood. Look at another function of the IBRD or World Bank is generally bank grants loans for a particular project duly submitted to the bank by the member nation. Okay, hope you understood. If a bank, World Bank is providing loans to a particular project of the member nation, that must be duly submitted to the bank by the member nation. For applying loan, when a member nation is borrowing loans from World Bank, member nation is to fulfill all the requirements of the bank and it should apply for that. If it is sanctioned, then only member nation can get the loan facility from the World Bank. The debtor nation has to repay the loans either in reserve currencies or in the currency in which the loan is sanctioned. Very interesting. If whatever amount of loan is given by the World Bank to the member nation, while repaying the loan, the member nations can repay that kind of loan either in terms of reserve currency. If that country is having currencies of different countries, suppose for example US dollar, okay, Japanese yen, England pound sterling, if whatever amount of different currencies that member nation is having, in that mode the debtor country can repay the loans. If it is not possible, in what, for example, mode the loan is sanctioned to that member nation. Suppose India has got 20 crore rupees loan. After repaying that loan, if India is not having the currencies of other countries, India can repay that loan by its own currency, by Indian rupee. Okay, hope you understood. So it's like that. If suppose India got loans in terms of American dollars, it is to repay the loan in terms of only American dollars. If it is not possible, it can repay the loans in terms of other currencies. Okay, look at the last function of the World Bank is bank also provides loans to the private investors of the member nations on its own guarantee, but these investors must seek permission by their nation. Okay, World Bank is also providing loans for private investors of the member nation, but one thing is very interesting here. While getting the guarantee of the World Bank, that private investors must take the permission of that their own respective nations government, for example. Okay, if they are not getting the permission of the member nation, those private, for example, investors will not get any kind of loans from World Bank. So this is all about the objectives and functions of World Bank. In the next class, let us have a look on the last topic of the 5th unit, that is World Trade Organization. Okay, I hope all of you are understood. With this, let us stop our discussion. Thank you very much.